Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having an incredible day or night in Jesus. Today we're going to try to do a list of Christian heresies. Now, not everybody will consider all of these heresies. And then you have to remember, you had people like Zwingli considered Luther a heretic, Luther considered Zwingli a heretic, Zwingli locks up Balthasar Hubmaier for being a heretic. Luther basically gave sanction to the killing of a bunch of Anabaptists, among others. Calvin, who knows the number of supposed Christians he killed, or even Christians, not just supposed. So let's get started, and we won't go into the Inquisition and all of that. So this is a list of heresies, comes from Wikipedia. So first we come to Docetism. That's the belief that Jesus didn't have a real physical body. And that kind of crept in groups of Islam, parts of Islam. Montanism, and it's a movement that emphasizes the importance of prophecy and ecstatic experience. It's far more than that. They believe that like New Jerusalem's coming in Phrygia, and that Montanus was a prophet, if not Jesus, and on. Adoptionism, the belief that Jesus was not the Son of God from eternity. Then Valentinianism, a Gnostic heresy. Gnosticism itself. Marcionism, Philanthropism, Sethism, Basilidinianism. I would throw in there Trinitarianism, that's me. Novatianism, Arianism, Donatism, but some Apollinarianism, Tritheism, Collyridianism, and that is the belief that the Trinity consists of Father, Son, and Mary. Binitarianism, subordinationism, Anomionianism. He was not fully divine, Jesus. Anti-Decamerians, they rejected the perpetual virginity of Mary, and I do as well. They were condemned by St. Epiphanius of Salamis. Priscillianism, it's listed, of course, that was just oneness teaching. It says they're not, basically anybody that history doesn't like, especially if they're oneness, they just call them they were Gnostic or Manichaean or something else. Nestorianism, which that's debatable. Pelagianism, Eutychianism, the belief that Christ is one nature, and of two, with the humanity of Christ subsumed by the divinity. Monophysitism, the belief that Christ only has one nature, which is divine. Miaphysitism, the belief that Christ is fully divine and fully human in only one nature. 6th century, the 3 chapters, 3 Nestorian writings, and we won't go into all that, but that's all interesting. Iconoclasm, in the Byzantine, they believed the veneration of icons was idolatry. See, most people wouldn't consider that heresy. Most people consider that orthodoxy. Monothelitism, Christ only had one will. Paulicinianism, material world is evil. Only way to salvation is rejected, kind of like 1 John 2, 15 through 17. Catharism, which Stephanism, sect in Ethiopia, who rejected veneration of icons, saints, and angels. So a lot depends on who is doing the pronouncing. So Socinianism, Jansenism, Quietism, some of these are debatable. Frebonianism, Americanism, a political and religious outlook attributed to some American Catholics. Fenianism, the rejection of the doctrines of baptism of desire and baptism of blood on the grounds they grant justification, but are not sufficient to salvation. Named for Leonard Feeney, a Jesuit priest from... See, most of these are coming from a Catholic viewpoint. Modernism, the belief that all doctrines are subject to change, and that doctrines ought to change depending on the time and location. This was condemned by Pope Pius X in the encyclical Pascendi Dominici Gregis. And I'm just going to tell you, if you get you a good, legitimate theological dictionary, you can find a lot more heresies than this. But follow the God of the Bible. It's not about denomination, even though there's different groups that have gotten together that believe the same thing, and live for Jesus. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.